I'm figuring out this level on Adventures of Lolo.
What is Adventures of Lolo? Like Q*bert?
Not exactly, but like a puzzle game.
Snake rattle and roll?
Yeah. I got it. Okay, I'm ready.
Wait, Adventures of Lolo's from 1989.
Yeah.
Is that what you're playing, or is there a new app?
Yeah. No, I'm playing it on this website called Retro Games. It's awesome.
And they just have every game you want.
I don't know if they have every game, but they have this game, and I play it during the show all the time.
Does Eric know this?
Yeah, Ellie's told them.
She narcs on you.
She does. I used to play Minecraft during the show.
You should start playing Narc.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of meta. Narc was a pretty fucked up video game. I think that you were just running around shooting drug dealers.
I never played it.
And it was allowed. It was encouraged. Get those drug dealers off the street. And it was all tied to Nancy Reagan. Just say no.
Yeah.
We're going to demonize all these drug dealers and these drug users. So kill them. Sure, shoot them. You're making the world a better place. Just say no. Instead of saying, just say, what's actually going on? Can I help you? Do you need someone to support you? Do you need someone to listen to? Nah, that's too difficult. Just say no.
Just say no. Also, what did DARE stand for?
Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program.
Oh, wait. That's DAREP.
Drug Abuse Resistance.
It shouldn't be a program then because it's called DARE.
Drug Abuse
Not DAREP.
Resistance Education.
DAREP. Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. It's, I guess, my week, but I turned it over to Autumn this week because she was very excited about this week's topic, which I'm kind of surprised it hasn't come up before.
I know. Why haven't we done this before?
But I'm also not surprised that it hasn't come up before. Because
both of us hide this thing?
Well, maybe we hide it, but I also feel like it's lowbrow. I'm a highbrow type of person, as you know.
Yes. When we talk about stealing from grocery stores, that's highbrow.
Well, that is look, the idiot who doesn't steal from the grocery store would get a big kick out of today's topic.
Okay.
You know, some people have morals, and this topic appeals to everyone across the board, and that's why I label it as lowbrow. Okay. I also, and I've brought this up before, but I like the way that we pretend that people don't know what the topic is, even though it's in the title. So there's no big reveal.
What is our topic this week?
You get to introduce the topic.
I want to talk about farting.
Okay. And I said, sure, let's talk about farting.
Yeah.
Well, I think actually my response to you was farting, ? Exclamation point.
Farting? That's the inflection for ? Exclamation point. Huh?
That was then, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly the cadence I delivered it with in my mind. Farting?
Yeah, and then you were like, you want to talk? I think you said something like, you want to talk about farting? I said, yeah, with an exclamation point, maybe two.
What got you thinking about farting? I can't speak and read at the same time. It's like the person who can't walk and chew gum, which I know is a joke. But I was. What got you thought about farting? Because I was trying to look up all the different names for farting, since I know you like that kind of thing. But
I do like that.
Let me give you some space to answer this question.
I don't remember. Maybe I had farted recently or something, and I thought, interesting.
The first time in your life you farted and thought, that's interesting.
Listen, I'm an only child, and everything I do is, celebrated. No,
baby's first fart.
Yeah,
which I assume is
in a jar.
I put it in a jar.
Yeah,
like people bottle mountain air.
Yeah, is that real? People really do that?
You put it in a Gerber baby food carrot jar. Baby's first fart. I assume the baby farts when it's coming out of the womb.
Huh? I don't think there's air in there. Is there air? No, there's no air in there yet.
There's air in the body.
Not in its lungs. Not in its intestines.
Well, the food's going straight into the belly, and there's some kind of digestion.
There's no food. It's just blood.
No, it's a stream of mush that goes through the umbilical cord. I know.
Nope.
Okay. It just flows through there. It's a straw.
Yeah.
If you think about mashed potatoes, that's what I assume the baby.
Part of your stomach, branches off when you're pregnant, and that's the umbilical cord. It's connected to your stomach, and whatever's the mush that's broken down in your stomach, it goes right into that umbilical cord and into the baby's stomach.
Did you keep the umbilical cord? Did you make a mobile out of it?
I buried it in the yard, and then a tree grew.
And grew another baby. When do babies fart for the first time? This is something I should have done in my research, but I didn't think about it.
I don't think there's no air in there. There's no air in their bodies until they come out.
Do babies fart in the womb? Babies may not fart in the womb, but they do grow. Okay, thank you. That's not... Come on.
Oh, they grow. I always get confused between farting and growing. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, so in the womb, I assume in the womb they're not farting.
No.
They
can't fart. There's no air in their body. But
I thought on the way out, there's something going on. Maybe after that first breath, because some of farting is when chewing gum can make you fart.
Really?
Yeah, if you're swallowing air, for the most part, swallowed air comes back up as burps, but some of it does get through the system, and that can lead to a higher fart.
So yeah, I guess the
number,
the first
fart number, yes.
The potential for farting can come from its first breath, and then once that meconium whatever comes out of their butts, that like really dark first poop.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but then I don't know. It's probably really soon after they're born.
Yeah, the baby's first poop. Meconium?
Meconium.
That came out of me in the womb. They're like, we got to get him out of there.
Yeah, Pete's came out too.
I was a fucking mess. I was cone-headed, umbilical cord wrapped around the neck, and I was shitting all over the place, and I still refused to come out. Same personality.
The umbilical cord around the neck is extremely common. It is not something to be afraid. Like thinking that was the thing for you, it wasn't.
It can get tight when I refuse to come out, and there's pushing, and it's pulling and squeezing like a python around the neck.
It's an old methodology of birthing.
Well, they cut me out because I refused to come out.
Yeah, that might be. I'm sure that's true.
Yes, you think so?
Yeah.
Personalities.
Well, it's true.
Personalities don't change.
Yeah, from birth, it's the same throughout. If you were late coming out, you're like 2 weeks late, then you're just always perpetually late for the rest of your life. That's just how it is.
10 things you never knew about meconium. There's hair in there.
Ew! Why?
It doesn't contain breast milk or formula just yet. Instead, it's jam-packed with materials your baby ingested in utero, like skin cells that have been shed, mucus, amniotic fluid, bile, water, and fine, soft hair that covers the baby's body.
Wow! And pee, because they pee in the womb, and that's what a lot of your amniotic fluid is their pee.
And there's no stink to it. It clings to the baby's skin because it has high viscosity.
Yeah.
It's like oil. Did you see it?
Yeah, it's really gross.
Did you put that in a jar?
Yeah. We put it in with the dried placenta, and we put it in capsules.
And then you ate them.
And then we ate them.
Did you actually eat the placenta?
No, I looked into it. It was really expensive to do.
Oh, to capsule it.
Yeah, or you could do it yourself and get like a dehydrator or something. And I just was like, no, I'm not doing all that. It's fine.
I dated someone who had the jar of placenta capsules in the fridge. I bet you can guess who.
Yeah. There's no guessing.
They were just sitting right. Oh yeah, I guess I haven't dated that many people who have kids.
Yeah,
it's a little easier to.
Okay, but you know what? Even if you didn't know if she had a kid or not, I feel like that'd be the person that had them.
Or if everyone I dated had kids.
Okay, sure.
You could say, I know which one it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's boring.
Maybe between two people, I would guess.
Who's the other one?
The other one with bangs.
Come on.
The one that worked at the radio station.
You know that doesn't narrow anything down. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
like she might.
I could possibly see that.
Yeah.
She reached out to me once and then asked if I was interested in having a kid with her. Like not, I wouldn't be around. And I think that was weird. I know this
She's married.
Yeah. I don't want to reveal too much as to the reasons why, but the thing is, I thought about it and said, sure, that'd be cool. But then it's weird. It's your kid and you're not expected to be a part of its life. But I don't think I could do that. Like hang out and, oh yeah, our friend Greg's coming over. And then one day it's like, surprise, that guy's been your dad. He's your dad. And there was an arrangement and he wasn't around because that was the arrangement. But that's too much. And I couldn't bring myself to do it.
It's a lot. I feel like you would need to be much closer to the family to be a part of that scenario instead of being close to just one person in the family.
Sure, that's part of it too. But wouldn't that be weird if you're closer to the family and you're always around and you are designated like unofficial uncle? It's like, hey, Uncle Greg's coming over. And it's like, surprise.
I mean, if you're all into it, then it wouldn't be weird.
One day the kid would find out, surprise, Uncle's dad. Papa Dad Greg.
Yeah, Daddy Uncle.
Papa Dad Uncle Greg.
Papa Dad Uncle Greg.
What? Anyway, okay. So babies, I don't know when they fart for the first time. It's not happening in the womb.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we cleared that up. We're starting from birth, but obviously it comes
okay, let's start from birth.
It comes very quickly, right? You have kids. I'm sure they farted nonstop.
Ellie is a fart monster. She farts it up. That is her hobby, is farting. She might be a little lactose intolerant.
Which, yes, that's a reason that people fart more.
Yeah.
So it's not completely her fault.
No, I try and avoid lactose for her. And when I remember and she eats it, then I give her a Lactaid. But she farts a lot. They're not always really stinky either.
Well,
sometimes they're stinky, but yeah.
The stinky farts only come from sulfur. Like when the
methane?
Well, the methane actually doesn't stink. That is one that does stink, but eggs stink. The smell of sulfur smells like farts because it's actually the same gas that's released by the bacteria when it breaks down the materials that you can't digest. That's where farts come from in the first place.
Oh, man.
Your body can't digest some of the food, what's left. The bacteria gets to work on, and then they release their own waste, and then that's the fart that builds up for the most part.
Oh, gross.
And it comes...
That's really gross to think about. Just like organisms making their own farts inside of your body farts? Inside of your fart?
Yeah,
it's bubbles in your body?
It's their farts, and you're just releasing them.
So you can't be blamed for a stinky fart. You're like, sorry, my bacteria is farting it up in there.
Well, it depends on what you eat. So different things that you eat have... things that make you fart more. Obviously, some of the things, beans, dairy, sugar, raw or red meat, whole grains, veggies. But veggie farts don't usually smell.
These are everything.
I know, it is
You're just naming all foods.
That's what during my extensive research for this show, I came across that. This is everything. But yes, it makes sense. Everything. It's just stupid to list it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cauliflower hurts my stomach.
But it doesn't smell when you fart.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
You think it does? I
think it does. Yeah. I've had some really like when I was on my diet, woo! My body was rebelling. Maybe that's how I lost the weight. It's just diarrhea.
Is that... You should have just taken laxatives.
Well, laxatives just is water weight. It's not actual weight.
When you were on your diet and you were cutting the cheese or floating an air biscuit or burping.
Yeah, bacon brownies.
Burping from behind.
Ew.
Or blowing the brown horn. Or a buck snort. Or a booty bomb.
Oh, I love booty bomb.
Colon cologne. Did you have any gurglers?
Ew, like the ones that sound like marbles dripping in pudding. Those are so gross. Those are the worst. Like a nice sounding fart, could be at least at best funny, but then those ones that just sound like...
Those aren't tush ticklers. The tush ticklers are the little petite ones.
Like that. Like little baby one.
See, this is a topic. I don't like farts. I think they are disgusting, and even I laugh at it though. It still got me laughing because it's
because they are funny. It's all right to think that they're a little funny.
There's a lot of study that goes into why are farts funny. Because they don't.
Oh, there's a study?
Yeah, well, people look into it, and I guess it's a valid question to ask. Why are farts funny?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really knows. I mean, I think it's because it's something that we all do, and it's a loss of physical or it's not a loss of physical control, because sometimes you're well in control of it.
Yeah, or you think you're in control, and then something else happens.
Yeah, has that happened to you?
Yeah.
When that long pause, were you thinking about lying there?
No, it just is. I'm embarrassed to say it has happened. I
Outside of
immediately texted my friends. I was like, I'm part of the club.
Outside of pregnancy.
Outside of pregnancy, it happened. I couldn't believe it.
And you shared it, though. You shared the information.
Well, because I knew that they had experienced this before, and they thought it was really funny. Not when they did it, but like when I told them.
So you wanted the laugh.
Well, I was like, oh my God. Well, it had never happened before, and I'm 38 years old. So I did pretty well. I'm very much in control of my sphincter.
I have to say,
I don't hardly ever accidentally fart. Like one just like slips out. That does not happen.
Yeah, I'm trying
if it comes out of my body, it's intentional. I'm pushing it out. I'm like, I'm ready to fart now.
They slip out when I'm falling asleep. That's the times that I don't have control.
Okay, that might be true. If I'm if I'm asleep or falling asleep and I just don't realize it, but otherwise it's always been intentional.
I always wake up. It jolts me awake if someone else is around.
Yeah.
Because I still feel embarrassed by it. I know that there are people who love it, that they trap people, that they get people in situations they can't escape.
Yeah. What is that called? Dutch oven.
Well, yeah, in the bed when you are under the covers and you let one go and you let it marinate. Just marinate under the covers, and then
I don't like that.
I'm not into that stuff either. Or you pin someone down and you put your butt on their face or on their body and you let loose.
No, I've never done that. Has someone done that to you?
No, but I feel like this is general dude behavior.
Yeah, like older brother stuff.
A lot of guys like to do that, and then that's how you know they're comfortable with their girlfriends in their relationship now, because they look at this. I don't care.
I feel like if a guy is farty, I really don't care as long as it's not smelly. If it's really smelly, then I'm like, fuck no, stop it. Go do that somewhere else. But if you're just farting it up, I don't care. Just air. And you're a dude. I don't know. I sometimes expect like dudes to fart more than women.
But it's not air. It's not just air. It's gas that escaped, as we've already established, bacteria that was then inside someone's body, then came out their butt, that entered your face and got into your brain and triggered some neurons.
Yeah, that's what I mean about the smelling. Then I'm offended. But if it's not smelly, then I don't really care.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. If it's not smelly, the same thing is happening. It just doesn't have a stench to it. But all that gas is still getting into your face, and that's why
people's breath are getting into my face then.
Yeah, I know. I say it like that, not because I'm angry that you're making that point, countering what I'm saying, because I'm well aware that people are flesh exhaust pipes releasing gases around every corner from every orifice. And this, if you think about this too much, it can send you into a very dark place.
I saw someone describe or say something that really bothered them once they started thinking about it. That was inside of our bodies are just a skeleton, and it's damp. It's like a wet skeleton.
Who said this?
I don't know. Someone on TikTok.
Oh, well.
Isn't that weird to think about, that your skeleton is wet?
Is it really wet?
I mean, inside your body, is it wet in there?
It's hard to say because I don't.
Is there a film covering your bones? It's not bone dry in there. It's only bone dry after.
I don't feel like it's that wet. I think when you cut into flesh, it breaks capillaries and then blood seeps out. But your muscles, I guess, are squishy. But the blood isn't just all over the place. It is contained. The capillaries get very small.
And there's lubricant, right? Like in your bones, like in your joints.
Which TikTok artist? You like the way I called this person an artist because I know that you've bought into TikTok.
Such respect.
Yeah, which TikTok artist said such a thing?
Oh, I have no idea. It's just random.
Sounds like they were trying a little too hard.
Okay. It doesn't matter. It's more. I just thought, is that true? And if it is, that's weird.
It is strange. I mean, and bodies in general. If you think about what you actually are.
Yeah.
And this is why it ties to me thinking about being flesh exhaust pipes. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Meat bags.
You've got all those organs inside of you. You're generating poop at any given moment. Gas is forming.
Yeah.
I mean, when you die, you become so bloated because all the bacteria starts to eat away at your flesh, and then it starts releasing its own waste.
Yeah, decomposition.
And you bloat.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are talking about farts, something that we find to be disgusting on one hand, but also you still do laugh at it. Still laugh at it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so if you have to fart, do you try and hold it? Or do you try and get rid of it by like going into the bathroom, or do you spread your butt cheeks open so that it doesn't make a sound?
I mean, it depends on the situation. It's purely situational, right? If you're alone, it doesn't matter. If it's
you let it go.
You let it go, and whatever sound comes out, comes out. Which, fine, so be it. If there's someone else around, I try not to fart.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first order of business. Like, no, I'm not going to do this now. Though, if you hold it in, it gets back into your bloodstream and eventually gets to your lungs and you breathe it out.
No.
Yeah.
That can't be true.
It is true.
That some burps are farts?
No, that's a burp. It's different. So it's not an exhale.
Oh.
The burp comes from your stomach.
Oh, and how does it get into your lungs?
Because it's already in your... Look, the gas has to go somewhere.
Okay, but your intestines aren't connected to your lungs in any way.
No, your intestines are connected to your bloodstream, which is where the nutrients go when you eat. So if the gas is there, it'll be absorbed through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream.
You don't have gas in your blood.
The carbon dioxide. What did you think when you breathe out? What's going on?
That's in the cells.
Well, there's small amounts. There's not giant gas bubbles. The point is it dissipates to levels that you probably can't detect.
And it comes out of your breath.
Yeah, you don't take, a vial of blood and look at it and see bubbles in it, but it's there and then it collects. It collects in your lungs and then you exhale. So this gas has to come out no matter what. So next time you want to hold it, think about that happening, though I still think it's the polite thing to do.
Yeah, I would always hold it. I always hold it. Or, like I said, you go to the bathroom, fart it out. Spread your butt cheeks, especially if you're with other people. If you're people around, spread the butt cheeks so that it doesn't vibrate anywhere.
Well, that's the next step. If you can't hold it anymore, I will try to go somewhere else. Remove myself from the presence of other people, and then take care of it, and then return.
Have you seen those videos? Those infrared videos of people farting?
I have. Are those real?
I don't know.
They could be, because if infrared's picking up shifts in temperature, I assume that the gas coming out does have a different temperature. Yeah. They're funny. They do make me laugh. They've make me think about... I used to think about people farting blue clouds before this. Like, it was visible to everyone. So there would be some shame involved for most people, though there'd still be the people who didn't give a shit.
They're like, oh.
But could you imagine, going back to me not wanting to think about what's actually going on with people's bodies... If you're able to see the gas coming out at any given moment, it would be everywhere.
My God, everywhere. We'd be breathing it in. We'd watch it go into our mouths out of our noses and stuff.
And the sun would be blocked by blue flatulence clouds.
That makes me think of when you're in a pool and you hear about that old wives' tale or urban myth or whatever, that there's a chemical in the pool that if you pee in it, it'll turn your pee like a bright color, so people will know that you've peed in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was featured in one of those Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, what was the one where he's hanging out Paul Blart Mall Cop? Not the one where they got married. I forgot that they've done several movies together. Grown Ups?
Not the one where they got married.
Was the King of Queens in Grown Ups?
Maybe.
What's his name?
I hated Grown Ups.
Kevin James?
Yeah, Kevin James.
Yeah, I
not Will Sasso.
I would like to state, and I promise this is the truth. I don't know why I know that this is a scene in that movie. I have not seen the full movie, Grown Ups.
Okay.
But I saw a scene where I think they're sitting in a pool and they're peeing and they talk about it, and then like the blue is surrounding.
Oh, and
them.
then it's there.
Yeah, Grown Ups pee pool scene. Yeah, this was it. I'm just confirming. I'm not gonna...
Well, that was much later than when I was a little kid swimming in pools and peeing in them and hoping that dye wasn't there.
Yeah, I wasn't claiming that the movie invented that.
Okay.
I heard that too when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That
Did it stop you from peeing in the pool?
No. I would.
My strategy was like, let a little out and swim away. See if it turned blue. No blue. Keep going.
I was never worried about the blue, but I would move. I wouldn't stand in one spot because I.
Oh no, you're not going to sit in your own pee, like pool.
With the pool, you've got the chlorine. That's why it didn't bother me so much. Even as a young kid, I knew there's chlorine here. That's why it's in here to neutralize my urine. We've talked about this. The urine's the least of the worries. That water is going into people's butt cracks. It's touching their butts, which are kids' butts are filthy. Most, I think, adults' butts are filthy. Sometimes I'm surprised. I think it's clean, and you're outside, and it's a long, hot day, and you're like, what the hell happened?
Wait, what are you saying?
I'm just saying.
A long, hot day? What?
Sometimes when you're outside, it's humid, it's summer. I think I have a clean butt. You come in, and then you're like, oh, wow, that was dirtier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't like to admit this because I find it to be repulsive, but...
Yeah, you're a human being, though, and everyone has the same thing. Everyone.
Yeah, so in the pool, this water is going, and you're swimming around, spitting the water up like a fountain.
Oh, my God. Think about all of the pool water you swallowed as a kid.
It's the chlorine. The chlorine does a very good job.
All right.
It's why I can't go swimming in the ocean. And I know the ocean's vast. And someone poops in the ocean, and you're a mile away, it doesn't matter. But there's a lot of animals pooping in the ocean. There's a lot of waste dumped into the ocean.
Well, the waste part, but like just we go to a beach here, and it's a beach that allows dogs, but there's like a section for the dogs, but it's just like a section for them. And are they pooping in the water? Those dogs, are they peeing in the water? Am I swimming in dog pee?
This is a good question. I feel as though dogs actually wouldn't pee or poop in the water because they're a little more dignified than humans when it comes to that. Maybe they would pee, but dogs are very specific in particular about their pooping.
Oh, yeah, because theirs is like a territorial thing, too. So they're not like claiming the water is theirs.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder if anyone's ever studied it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've seen dogs poop in the water. Then I don't remember, though. I don't remember if that's what made me think, like, do I want to be swimming in this water?
I mean, maybe if the dog found itself in the water and it was scared. And somehow it like jumped off a pier and then it was never in the water before and it got frightened and it just let go.
Yeah, that's different. That's like a survival. Like I got to release my bowels so that I can be fast and run.
But I wouldn't expect them to be pooping and peeing.
What about people that like when you hear about being so afraid that you poop your pants? You shit your pants?
Yeah, I think that's a thing.
Yeah? The peeing part I understand more than the pooping part. The pooping, like, it's hard to poop outside of your comfort zone.
There's a real shock, though, something that catches you off guard.
And you're just like, your bowels are like, gotta go.
Everything loosens.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why that is a reaction. If someone didn't have a gun or a knife and was just coming at you, and you pooped and peed and farted and burped and did everything else at once, that would be a deterrent. I feel like that would deter someone. Like, I don't really want to. I don't really want to attack that person. That person's pretty disgusting. Going back to what you were asking, though, about the situation with other people, then the third thing, if you can't escape and go find a place to go, then, you try to do it silently and hope that it doesn't smell. And it does depend.
And if it does smell, you want to say something about it so that you're not guilty, but then there's the whole smelt it, dealt it thing. So you really got to play your hand right.
I don't think you don't say anything. And if it does stink, you just sit there in silence and you hope that it's not traced back to you.
But what if it's just you and one other person?
All right, then
and
they
you've
know.
Decided, and then like, do you say?
Then they know. I guess you would have to.
You'd have to.
Or they would just they maybe wouldn't say something.
Uh-huh.
Then you would think, oh, wow, I got it. But they surely smelled it.
Uh-huh.
So,
Ugh. Why is this so embarrassing? Why can't you just be like, I farted, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I was like, whoop, excuse me. Maybe some people can be like that. I'm sure people are like that.
Because I think it got tied into, dignified living at some point. Politeness and society. If you're a civilized human being, you don't...
Etiquette.
You don't fart. And then you have the people who go against that and they shun etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's probably part of the reason. And there's something to be said about having control over your own body.
Sure.
And so if you're farting and you can't control it, that's embarrassing. It's like, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Again, the humor tied to farts, it is interesting to me because jokes, if you think about jokes, they tend to raise some kind of expectation and then they turn on that expectation. It's like, oh, wow, there's, it led me down this path and then pulled a 180 or this unexpected thing happened. But farts don't have any of that. There's no setup. There's no punchline.
There's no cleverness.
It's just a thing that happens. I guess the sound.
Yeah, why do we find it? Yeah, but why though? Maybe it's because it's something that we consider part of a private matter. And a little bit of that privacy is happening in public or outside of privacy or whatever. So you're sort of laughing at the vulnerability or something.
But burps aren't funny.
I mean, they can be a little bit.
But people don't laugh at burps. It's not a guaranteed.
No, not like farting.
It's not a guaranteed laugh. They're just as gross. So if you're talking about the grossness.
And they can be even worse smelling. If you think about some people, like some people's burps or like after you've eaten like mall Chinese food and your burps are disgusting.
Oh, yeah, totally. Because the mix of all the food that you just ate is in there. Starting to break down with the stomach bile, and then it's released. But it dissipates much faster.
That's true. It doesn't linger it makes sense then, right? I mean, listen, I don't know how things work, but if you're farting, it's because stuff has been digesting and working, and that bacteria has been farting it up in your body. It's been like going through a lot more, it's like a soup or a stew. It's had a lot of time to gain strength.
But it is also different. If it's the waste of bacteria, then that's the smell, the sulfur that you're smelling there. Methane is part of it too. And when you brought that up before, I was reading about the makeup of farts, and most of it is just nitrogen, carbon dioxide, as you'd expect. Hydrogen is a big one, which is why they're flammable.
That's why it blows up
That's why they're flammable. And also, when people do light their farts on fire, if it's more orange or red, it's the makeup is hydrogen and hydrogen, and the methane I think comes out as blue, if I remember correctly.
Oh wow!
So if you've got more methane in your farts, it's gonna turn a little more blue.
Is that how gastroenterologists test to see how their patients are doing? They just light their farts to see more methane this week.
Yes, it's the same thing. And they can look up the chemical makeup of planets. That's got a methane, methane atmosphere.
Uh-huh.
The people who light their farts on fire, another dangerous thing, because if that gets into your butt, if that gets sucked up in...
into your colon?
Yeah, it will light all the gas in there. It'll burn you. It'll burn you on the inside.
Oh my God, I never thought of that.
And it's happened.
Why would it get sucked back in, though?
It's like a backdraft. Fires, where the flame goes where the fuel is. And if you burn up the fuel on the outside and there's more, it's going to just follow that fuel line.
Oh.
It's going to go straight in.
I've never tried to light a fart.
Neither have I, but a party trick. You've seen people, I'm sure.
I've never seen anyone do it in person.
No? You weren't around?
No.
Never were you around? I know that you've hung out with people who've done it, meaning people I knew. You weren't friends with these people, but there were some parties that we went to, and some of those guys there I know have lit farts before. So it's a shame that you didn't get to see their party trick.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I really missed out.
Watch this.
It is pretty cool that it can happen. I mean, who did that first? Who found that out?
I mean, it's someone who probably figured out what the chemical makeup was, and that's a flammable gas, hydrogen. So I'm going to light it on fire. Let's see what happens if I try to do this. It's the same thing when people learn that they can light their hand on fire with alcohol. Somebody at some point.
Oh, yeah. And it just burns the alcohol off your hand.
Yeah, for a bit.
Okay.
You got to put that out. So I think there's some science backing at first.
Yeah.
then it moves into the hands of morons. they don't need to know the science. Yeah, I wonder if there was a crack team of scientists who were studying the makeup of flatulence, and we could light that on fire. Well, let's give it a go. That's one of the reasons.
Like, who's wearing jeans?
It's one of the reasons that I'm not saying that there's a study that could definitively explain why farts are funny. I get stuck on this because I am interested. Nobody seems to have an actual answer as to why humans find them
it's a
to be
sound
funny.
coming out of your butt.
Yeah, I know, but why is that funny? And it's. I'm sure people have studied humor. We know that they study humor
because your butt doesn't normally make sound.
It makes plenty of sound. It's probably one of the noisiest parts of your body.
Your butthole?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Pooping.
Your mouth makes sounds.
Yeah, your mouth is the first noisiest. What's the second? Maybe your nose.
Stomach. That makes a ton of noise.
But the butt is up there. The butt makes noises. But the scientists and the researchers studying humor and what makes people laugh, I think they're a little too full of themselves. They're above studying farts. But I don't think you could actually pinpoint it. I don't. It's just a thing that happens, and for whatever reason, we laugh at it.
Then why are you and I so avoidant of farting in front of people?
Because you shouldn't subject other people to that. They don't want you. Could you think about how your presence has an impact on others around you? Mm-hmm. That's why
I'm worried it'll smell. That's the only thing I'm worried. Like if I farted and they didn't smell, I wouldn't care. Or I wouldn't do it like willy-nilly. I would be polite about it, but I would be less careful.
Nah, you could be less. You could not be careful. I would probably do the same things. Like there's zero chance of smelling. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. But because they are disgusting, they can be disgusting.
They can be disgusting.
And you don't want to subject other people to that because that's the polite thing to do. And I don't know what the line is where some people, I've been on the train before, crowded subway trains. And my God, there was one time, this was horrific. It was the most horrific fart that I've ever smelled in my life.
No.
And you think about the person who did it. Did they know it was going to smell?
Uh-huh.
They knew they could probably get away with it. They were going to get away with it because it was a crowded train.
You didn't hear it? You just smelled it?
No, it just came out like the stench wafted through the subway car. It was rancid. And there were so many people. You look around, you look at faces, you try to pinpoint who it is. You're never really going to figure it out. But what drives a person to do that? Maybe it hurts so bad they need to.
Yeah, they couldn't help it.
But I feel as though some people actually enjoy it. If you ever go into public bathrooms, and maybe it's not like this for women's bathrooms, but there is shit all over the toilet. So often.
Weird.
Because it doesn't happen by accident. People are awful. They're insufferable creatures. They do this on purpose. There's something that drives I'm going to shit all over this toilet seat and someone else is going to come in and see it. Ugh. That gets them off in some sick way. And then someone else has to clean it up. And because it's not happening at home, guarantee that.
Yeah. They're not shitting up their own bathroom. Because you said once that you were in a bathroom and there was like smeared shit.
Yes. This happens more often than you would think.
I think in men's bathroom, not as much in women's.
Yeah, men's. I don't know women's. I believe you. And that makes sense too. But there's a driving force that I can't comprehend. So on the train this day, it's like, what is the person's motivation, no matter what it is? If they couldn't hold it, they did it. If they knew it was going to smell, maybe they've been farting all day and they knew it was going to smell and they wanted to get a reaction, or they just didn't know it was going to smell and it happened to smell. I don't know, but I lost it.
What'd you do?
I was like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that was the extent of it. Like, what else are you going to do? You don't know who it is, but
yeah.
It was.
What if someone had said, I'm sorry, it was me?
I mean,
like, oh, okay.
Is it an old lady or is it a person doing an old lady's voice?
Oh, it's an old lady.
And I think the old lady would get a little more leeway.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry, young man.
What if it was a guy who said, it was me? What are you going to do about it?
Oh, what would happen?
I don't think I would have backed down at that point.
What would you do?
I'll
tell you what I do. I'm going to take you to a CVS and I'm going to get you some Pepto-Bismol.
It'd be cool if I had some Pepto-Bismol in my bag and I threw it in his face.
Yeah.
Some Gas X. Like I uppercutted the guy and he fell to the ground and I shoved Gas X into his mouth. And then I got an applause on the train and I got off. And I nodded. Yeah, I nodded and I walked away. And the people told him. They talked about it the rest of their lives.
Nodded. Power move.
He didn't stick around. He didn't want the attention. He didn't want the acclaim.
No, he's not doing it for that.
He got out of there. He put this asshole in his place.
And then women start to get like, you turn into like some sex symbol. And so women start eating like broccoli and cauliflower and all of these like tuberous, whatever they're called, vegetables, so that they'll fart a lot and then you'll come attack them and then you'll fall in love with them.
Yes. Okay. I'll in this story, we'll go with that. That's the way this played out. Did you do any other research? What kind of research went into your fart episode? Or was it just you farted and you thought about it? Which, I know I asked you a question. Just quickly, I would like to say I was thinking of you farting.
Yeah.
It has been shown that people are okay with the smell of their own farts, even the worst ones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, have you ever been offended by your own fart? I've been shocked by the smell before. Like, whoa. Yeah. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I still think about where it comes from. I'm like, oh, boy. But there's something... A fart obviously isn't your standard smell. Meaning you have a smell to your body that you can't smell. Your apartment smells a certain way, and you can't really pick up on that. But people who come over smell the apartment.
I try and be very aware of that when I leave the apartment and then come back. I'm like, I try and remember to give it a smell, like with a new nose.
Yeah, because we become used to our own smells.
Mm-hmm.
And farts can fall into that, I guess, if you're doing it. There's a smell to your body, probably even on the inside. Your diet is your diet. I know it ranges a bit, but the smells that are coming out are somewhat unique to you, and I think you get a little used to it, so it doesn't affect you as much. But certainly there certainly are the times where, like you said, you're like, oh boy,
something's wrong with me.
So when you were back to that research question, because I like the fact that we're doing quick internet searches to prepare for our show on farts.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you came up with any trivia you'd like to share. Any insights?
No, I haven't done any research. I really had just...
You did zero research for the fart show?
Yeah.
Look, I know, for example, that farts tend to come out at 6.8 miles per hour.
Ooh, that's pretty fast.
You can outrun a fart.
Oh, that's good. All right, so next time I need to fart, I need to run far away and then run back.
No, you would need to hang out a little bit because you can drag it with you as you're going back.
Right, but I'm outrunning it.
True, you would be outrunning, but if it's still coming out of you, it may not be fully done. If someone else farts, you could run away from it.
Oh, okay.
Also,
the different... When it sticks around with you?
Yeah, the different sounds are determined by the speed. So, 6.8 is the average, but there's different speeds that it comes. And you can kind of control this too. You could really just force it out. So the different speed will give it the different sound, the angle, the tightness of your butthole.
Well, that's where the sound comes, right? Is the vibration of either your butt cheeks or your butthole. So if you spread that open, then it just comes out like...
I don't know if it's your butt cheeks. I mean, it's the butt.
Sure, it depends on how you're sitting. Like if your butt cheeks are pushed together, like enclosing your butthole, then it's going to like...
But that's not what's vibrating. Like your butthole, yes, and your sphincter and all that. If you're sitting and it's squeezed tight, then it's going to... But I think about a fart coming out with such force that like someone's butt cheeks flap. I don't know if that's happening. The whole butt.
Definitely that's happening.
The whole butt's vibrating. It's a...
Well, not your whole butt cheek, but like the skin there.
Oh yeah, but yeah, the butthole. Like I'm thinking of this on a level.
Not this. No, I'm not talking about the butthole. I'm talking about the air coming out of the butthole. Maybe the butthole vibrates a little bit, but also depending on how you're sitting or how you're positioned or something, your butt cheeks, like near the butthole, are definitely vibrating, and that's part of the sound.
Okay. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you in the sense that there's obviously stuff vibrating. That's the sound. But listen to follow. I'm thinking of like someone's whole butt and the whole cheeks are flapping back and forth because the whole fart. You think that farts are flapping? They're so powerful that like complete butt cheeks are flapping.
Well, when you're talking about the whole butt cheek, I'm not talking about the entire butt cheeks. Like the way that you're showing me with your hands with like in slow motion, like blow, 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 blow. That's not what I'm saying. But there's the section of the butt cheeks that are like the parts near your butthole. The air is coming out of your butthole and then it's moving those that skin right there. Your like inner butt cheek, butt crack.
Yes, I'm just thinking of the whole butt cheeks because I think that would be funny also.
It's like twerking like in slow motion. It's what it might look like a little bit.
The most powerful fart in the world, the nuclear fart, vibrates someone's whole butt and you could watch it with a high frame rate camera and just watch the whole thing.
What if there are people who can't fart and have to burp out their farts?
I don't know how to answer that. What if?
Do you think that's a thing?
I don't know if that's a thing.
Like some people can't burp.
Do a quick search. Are there people who can't fart? While you're doing that, I'll throw out some more trivia. The average person farts 14 times a day. If you're farting more than 20 times a day on a regular basis, it could prove to be a problem. Lactose intolerance leads to more farting, as you know. IBS, GERD. You like GERD?
What's GERD?
GERD's a real gastroesophageal something disorder. I don't know what the R stands for. But there's something going on with your esophagus and your stomach, and there's gas and you're girding. You're girding.
Everyone farts.
Yes, I guess this is true. Everyone farts. So there's nobody you're confirming.
Yes.
There's not a condition.
Nope. The inability to burp is uncommon, but some healthy people are unable to do it. Burping can reduce gas and abdominal discomfort. Most people experience gas after eating and releasing it through belching or flatulence.
Well, there it is. There's no escaping it.
Everyone has gas. Most people pass gas 13 to 20 times a day. Passing gas through the mouth is called belching or The word belch is such a disgusting word. Belch.
It's fitting, you don't think?
I mean, do you think it's like onomatopoetic?
Possibly. I could hear
belch.
I could, yeah. A burp could sound like belch coming out.
Oh, belch just sounds like there's liquid involved somehow. Like belch to me sounds like vomit burp or whatever.
What about those people who belch songs? Do you like those people?
Oh, that like can breathe in and do like.
I can't stand that. It really disgusts me. It makes my skin crawl. It's like touching.
No, I used to practice burping on command, but I couldn't ever do like songs.
Ugh. I was thinking about the person doing the alphabet belching, and it made me think of. I was saying it made my skin crawl, like the thought of touching an egg carton, and
which kind of egg carton?
I just don't like the material that egg cartons are made out of. Not
but which one? The
styrofoam's
not the
fine,
styrofoam,
but the papery one.
Oh, really? Isn't it just cardboard?
No, it's got a different texture.
I used to be real skeeved out by wet napkins and like wet paper towels.
Interesting.
I used to get like the creeps from it.
The thought of dry ones in my mouth.
Ew, yeah. That's a bad one.
It's pretty gross. I can't handle that. I did read that there's some people who can suck in air into their butts too, and then fart out different songs and frequencies. And
I've heard of the queefing one.
There's a talent,
and by heard of it, I mean I used to do it when I was a kid.
There's a talent for. I used to do that as a kid.
Well, I realized I could do it. I like to lay on the coffee table when I was a kid to watch TV, and one time I was like, I had my butt up in the air, and then air came in, and I pushed it out, and then I practiced doing it like.
Have you retired that practice?
I haven't done it in so long. I bet you I could figure it out.
It's a shame that we
I'll sell it on OnlyFans.
That we look negatively at these things. Farts, queefing, belching. It's all part of a beautiful symphony. And here we are. Here we are saying no.
I know. It's a bodily function. Like
beautiful.
Your eyes watering, producing saliva, boogers, snot, earwax, sweating, sebum. It's all part of a bodily function, but this is like the funniest one.
You should read Bill Bryson's book, The Body, but you should have read his other book first on the American English language.
This one?
Yes.
Should I send it back to you?
I would like it at some point.
Okay.
I enjoy that book. But The Body.
Maybe I'll take it and maybe I'll go to Malloy's tonight, which is a bar near me, and I'll read it and have a drink by myself.
Hey, reading in a bar is a great thing.
Yeah.
You'll be bothered, though.
Because I'm so hot. Well, just kidding. I'm just in a neighborhood where mostly people are married.
Being a woman at a bar alone, it's going to get you. You can try to be standoffish. You can bury yourself in something like a book, and people are not going to care.
I should wear a hat.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah, and a mustache.
She's wearing a hat and a mustache. Don't bother her. That's what it took.
That's how you know. Oh, look at that chick with the hat and the mustache. She wants it bad.
Also, farts in the shower do smell worse.
Oh, are like farts coming out of the tub?
Well, the reason...
You remember those when you were a kid?
Farts coming out of the tub.
Yeah, like when you would be in the tub and you would fart and the bubble would come out and you'd think... I would always think like, oh, that fart smell was in the bubble and then it was released.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. But then I stopped taking baths pretty early because I just thought about, again, how gross they are. For the obvious reasons.
Man, Pete, every time he gets in the tub, he pees.
I think it's pretty common, but yeah.
I never peed in the tub. Not that I remember, but...
I would pee in the tub.
Yeah?
No chlorine in the tub, but I think at a certain age I would. But the farts in the shower, couple reasons. One, you don't have any clothes on, so there's less to absorb some of the smell. And then because it's more humid, the water vapor is more it's a thicker air for the molecules to attach to, and they don't dissipate as quickly.
Interesting.
So that's it. That's what I've got on farts.
All right. I don't have anything else.
You didn't save one up to let loose at the end of the show? Fart into the mic?
No, I do. I am having stomach issues today, so.
All right, record it. We'll create a Patreon.
Those little ones.
I bet if you created a Patreon, most people wouldn't be into it, but there's someone out there who would.
I'd have like a steady. There'd be like a dedicated minority of people.
Somebody would buy your farts. They would pay for audio of your farts.
Well, did you hear the guy on the open mic today on the Von Hessler Doctrine, WSB, whatever?
I did not listen today.
Like once he was, I don't know, he was probably joking, but it was one of those creeper ones for me, saying like, "Will you sell your used masks?"
And you said yes.
Hell yeah, I'll sell you a mask.
You should do it. See what you can get. Mm-hmm. It's harmless.
I would sell my socks. I'd sell whatever the fuck they want.
You just need to make sure you mail it from, like, set up a P.O. box.
Oh, yeah, P.O. box.
Well, I guess people probably find you anyway. You don't have an unlisted address.
Yeah, you probably could find me.
Well, and you can find me.
Don't find me.
Well, start the business.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Please check out our sponsor, hoffandpepper.com. You can get 15% off on some really amazing hot sauce. Did I mention last time that I got their barbecue sauce? I've forgotten how good it was. You should get some for like your spring and summer grilling occasions. You won't be disappointed. Use our code ONETOPIC15 for 15% off. Did I say that already? I don't know. hoffandpepper.com. Thank you. Fart freely. Fart often.
Once you build your Etsy store selling your farty underwear and used socks. We can carry over that One Topic 15 for 15% off.
Oh yeah, 15% off my panty.
I'll bottle the flakes from my face when the skin chips off.
Yes. Okay.
Sell that.
Okay. Thank you.